All right, we're recording. Welcome. There's region, soon to be many more regions, and then nation. Hey, Michelle. Michelle was with us in Nashville. Um, some of us went to Bash in Nashville, and y'all, it always seems like we get the notification a little bit late for that. So I apologize, but we'll try next year to make sure that we post that so that anybody that wants to come, because on Saturday the training is for anyone, and Friday they have like an area manager and a sort of roundtable kind of training. But anyway, it was a lot of fun, and I'm so excited to see you guys tonight. Yes, I am recovering from the flu. Maybe next year I will get a flu shot. I never do because I'm one of those people that doesn't believe in them. So, but anyway, hey Sierra, glad you're here. You're rocking it. You're rocking your business, girl. I know we have so much exciting stuff going on, you guys, and it makes me feel better just to hop on here with you guys and feel that energy and excitement. So I'm actually going to start us out real quickly. Then we're going to talk a little bit. Yen and Gabby are going to take us through talking about sort of the RVP2B stuff that we're doing, and then I'm going to wrap us up. But what I wanted to start out by telling you guys is I did have some phone calls, different people that kind of said, hey, that sounds awesome, the RVP2B, but it is way too overwhelming for me. Like, it's just like, whoa, I could never do that much. And so what I wanted to start out by saying was that is okay. Number one, these calls are for everybody. So we do not want that to deter you from hopping on a call. And number two is you might just find if you're not in that place in your business where you're ready to like, hey, I want to go region in 6 months or, something like that. Cause that's what this program, the RVP2B program, is for somebody that wants to jump in and like move fast and get to region in 6 months. And it is a lot of work, but it's completely doable because so many people with 60, 70 hour work weeks and more have done it around those. So we know you can. I mean, I know Yen's going to talk about that some more. I think that's Yen's part, but I just wanted to say, even if you just join us for these calls and listen to that portion of the call and just take what you can from it. It might be that you just join us by reading the book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Y'all, that is one of the best books I've ever read. I'm rereading it. Sorry, I hope I don't lose my voice. Thank you. But I just wanted to say that before we get started is please don't let that make you feel like, I can't do it all. So, I'm just going to not even get on calls. No. We love everybody. We want everybody on these calls. And I appreciate and respect where everyone is in their business. And so this is just meant to inspire you and to help you with wherever your goals are. And then for those people that are really like, yes, then that's a whole nother thing, then we're doing the homework and that kind of thing. So I will tell you that for me, when I decided to go region, several years back, I followed pretty much what they're doing. I mean, I was very adamant about getting in front of at least 40 people a month. And in 3 months of doing that, I was in qualifications. I did have a pretty good business by that time already, but I was an area manager. But within 3 months, all of a sudden I was in qualifications. So it was kind of a decision that I made, and then it happened. Okay, so that said, I'm going to turn the call over to whoever wants to hop in first. Yeah, and I know we were going to do some takeaways, or you guys want to lead that part? Yen, any wins?
Sure. Do you want me to go first, Gabby, or?
Sure. You want to start off with sharing some wins from last week's homework?
Yeah, a lot of good wins. I think my number one win was that I actually figured out where I need to grow. I thought that was awesome. That it actually really helped me pinpoint exactly what I needed to be doing more of, and that was a lot of new asks. So I think that like I have my journal here and was writing like every single day what the homework was, and like piecing it out and everything like that. And a lot of I realized that a lot of the people I was talking to was follow up things, and it made it seem like it was new, because I was like, oh, like it's a new conversation, but like we've talked about Arbonne before, so it wasn't really new. So I realized that that's where I needed to grow is in the really, really new people that have never, maybe they haven't even met me, and like finding people out, out and about, or people have never even heard of Arbonne, or I've never really talked to them about it. So that was a win, is learning where I needed to grow.
And y'all, we want to open this time up for everybody to share. And even if you just did some of the homework or all of the homework, like to refresh your memory, the homework from last week's call was to schedule 10 business appointments, sponsor 2 people, and bring in 1,000 PQV. I completed 2 of the 3, which I hadn't actually completed all of them. Like just before this call, I had one more business appointment that I needed to schedule. So I went ahead and like texted a bunch of people and Facebook messaged a bunch of people until somebody said yes. So I have my 10 business appointments scheduled for the first 3 days of this week. But so I was going to see if anybody wanted to pass the torch over to someone to share any takeaways, because I think it's so cool when you put your mind to this. Like I could have easily just left it with 9, but because it was homework and because I knew I was going to get on here and tell y'all what I did and didn't do, that I actually went ahead and just reach out to more people. So did anybody else have anything like that happen, or any wins from the week that you want to share?
I wrapped up my 10 today by baking some goodies from seeing Yin make her stuff from the marble cake flavor. So I did like 4 deliveries today, and like everyone loved them, and now they all have questions. So that I think worked.
That's amazing.
Awesome.
That's really awesome. So you just baked some things and took them around to people? And
yeah,
then-
I did like little cake bites with like dark chocolate chips, and I took them to all of my friends that I know are obsessed with chocolate. So
so great.
kind of dangling it in front of them.
I love that idea, you guys. That's an awesome idea, and we definitely want to get creative like that. So thank you so much for sharing that. Wow, that's amazing.
Love it, Andy. Anybody else
have something that happened this week? Good.
I can share.
Yeah.
So this week I've actually gotten a lot of like no's and cancellations. So what I decided to do was like tune into the trainings more, something I've been slacking on. And it's like it's 7 days later and I'm actually okay. which is a hell of an accomplishment for me, because sometimes, like I know in my past, I used to let the no's discourage me, but to get all those no's and cancellations with meetings and everything and still be okay is like, damn, Chris, that's okay. Move on to the next person. Like, keep grinding, keep working. So I feel really good about that.
That's so amazing.
Yeah, you're getting closer to the yeses.
I completely forgot. So I actually had my friend hosted a Cincy party. What was that, like last week? And so when I went, one of the guys there decided he wanted to try some of the skin care. So I got him lined up with that, and they actually booked a party in February. And then I have my cousin who also booked a party in February. So
That's
I'm really excited for those 2. And these are going to be like my first 2 actual like at home events. Like, me and Caitlin have done some stuff, but it's all been like things that we've planned. It hasn't been something someone else has planned to actually like meet a lot of new people. So I'm excited.
That's awesome.
That's great, Christy. So proud of you.
That's amazing.
Anybody else have any?
Hold on, my husband's talking really loud. Luke.
Hey, Luke.
He's on the phone with his mom, and he paces back and forth when he talks. Oh, with his friend. Anyway.
Okay.
So no, I mean, I wanted to do the homework. Like I really was like in, but I was nervous and scared. But I did just like reach out to more, or I did more follow-ups, I guess, this week with people I talked to. And so I had like somebody I met with tonight who's about to sign up. Like just like, I mean, she's there. She's even made her 100-person list. So like, that was good talking to her. And then, but I think the most important thing I did was I went to the conference this weekend, and like, it was my first time getting out and like going to something in person like that. And so it just kind of like ignited a little bit more flame in me. So I like called her on the way home from that, and we made an appointment to meet today. And like, she's like ready to sign up, I mean, hopefully, but and then I have like 2 more appointments this week, one tonight after. And so like, I just think I gained some confidence getting out there and going and, hearing some stories. So the training I think was great. So I like love the fact that Crystal has been listening to more training like that, just filling your mind with good stuff. It's helped me a lot.
It helps so much.
That's awesome.
And you know what, y'all, those little bitty wins like that to me, and they're not little, they're huge. They might seem little, but they're really huge, especially if you're building your mindset and your confidence around, your belief around the 4 key things of this business. I mean, that's invaluable. And you have to also always give yourself grace. Y'all know my saying is don't shit on yourself. So don't do it. Give yourself grace and move forward the next day. And, it is, yes, if you're treating it like a business, it is a numbers game. We all know that. But that said, I mean, it's yours. It's your business. It's your game. We're not here to judge anybody on this or that. I'm just grateful whenever somebody's like, oh my gosh, that I've learned something that's going to help me stick and move forward, because it's the one thing that they said over and over, which I've heard forever in Arbonne, and they said it in Nashville, like Seth and Amy said it, is just don't quit. Like decide that you're going to close the back door. You're not going to quit, and, commit to some consistent activity. So what great wins. Anybody else?
Well, I know all of y'all had wins. I feel like I talked to a lot of you this week.
There's some shyness going on. That's okay. Well, I'll let Gabby and Yin take it away for the rest, and then I've got a little something to wrap it up with.
Do you want me to do the bubble exercise real quick?
Yes.
Okay. And then I'll pass it over to Yin to talk about the homework, the reading homework, and next week's homework. So this is an exercise that I did when I first joined Arbonne, and it really helped me realize how big your network actually is, because sometimes it's easy to get in our own heads and be like, oh, I'm running out of people, or like, I can't make a 100-person list. I don't know 100 people. You absolutely know 100 people and more. And again, it's not necessarily about who they are, but who they know. So grab a piece of paper, and I want you to draw first off one bubble and put you in the middle. So just put me. And then what you're going to do is we're going to walk through your entire life. And this is just going to outline, you should have at least 5 new networks that you can tap into after this, if not way more. So I'm just going to walk you through some examples, and go ahead and write down bubbles. And then tonight after the call or tomorrow morning, you can go ahead and fill in more people outside of those bubbles. So for example, let's start off from your hometown, where you were born. Who were your neighbors and family and friends, like from your hometown? So whatever that looks like for you. And then I'm putting like the street that I lived on, because I moved a couple of times growing up. So I actually have like 3 different sets of neighbors, all from New Orleans. Okay, so then after you were born, you probably went to like a daycare or a preschool, and then lower school, and then middle school, and then a high school. So go ahead and write all of that as bubbles. And then as branches off of those, did you do any clubs or sports? Think about your friends within each of those bubbles. Who were their moms and their siblings and their, like their grandparents? Like, did you meet any of their family members? I have friends who would probably never in a million years do Arbonne, but like their little sisters would. Did you attend any summer camps, sleepaway camps, day camps? Were you a counselor at any camps? Did you do any summer jobs? Did you babysit? Okay, so then fast forward after high school, you either went to college or you started working. If you went to college, go ahead and write down all of the groups that you were a part of. So that can be like sororities or, again, clubs, sports. Did you live in a dorm? Did you live in an apartment? Who were your neighbors? Who were your friends? And then write down some people that were in your classes. This is something I always forget about. Like, what was your major? Who were those other people that were in your major? You might not have been good friends with them, but you definitely know who they are, and I bet you're Facebook friends with them. Who were your professors? And then in the summers during college, again, did you do any jobs, internships? Did you do any nannying, any traveling, any, like I know I lived in like DC one summer, and there was a couple people that I met in DC that summer that are from other colleges. And then after college, did you start working? Did you travel? When you started working, list out some of your coworkers. And then any trips that you did Also, post-grad, this is a fun time because you're most likely meeting a lot of people in your new city. Did you join like a kickball team? Think about all those weekends that you went out to breweries and you met new people, baseball games, weddings, baby showers. I was just at a baby shower this last weekend. I literally got out my master list when I got home this afternoon. I have like 20 new people on my master list, and I have 2 meetings set up this week with 2 people that I met there. Okay, so that's all I have for now, but you can get the picture. You have a lot of people in your network, and that was something that I realized again recently, even though I did this exercise a long time ago. I was looking through my Facebook friends and like my mom's Facebook friends, and I was like, oh, I know a lot of those women. Like I went to school with their children, or my sister went to school with their kids, and those are people that are also in my outer network, but I wouldn't have really thought about them. So now you should have like at least 300 people to go ahead and reach out to. So I'm going to toss it over to Yin to chat about homework and the book.
Yay. Cool. So yeah, thanks for that. That was good. It's always good to do those exercises to like jog your memory, because sometimes I feel like I look at my Facebook friends and I'm like, there's so many and I don't even remember who's who, or like you have those Facebook friends too. You're like, how do I know you again? So that was good. But the reading, I mean, how many people have this book? Okay, cool. How many people actually read chapter 1 and 2? Oh, a lot less hands. Okay, well.
Mine came in the mail today, so I literally just opened it.
Okay, awesome. Well, at least you have it. Let me charge my computer 1 second. Oh yeah. Okay, so I guess after this call, you guys have a little bedtime story.
Yeah.
Chapter 1 and 2. So this is so okay. Number one, I love this book. Let me tell you, these chapters, let me just, like, for the people that don't have the book, don't be afraid. This chapter is literally 3 or 4 pages. It's the most simple written book ever. Super tangible. I think that's why I love it so much, just because it's simple. And when you're reading it, you're kind of like, duh, but like it blows your mind when you're doing it. So chapter 1 was about character. And I'm not going to say anything that you guys probably haven't heard if you watch the week 1 training, and Cecilia Stoll goes over this book, but character, choosing character may almost always be the harder choice, but it's always the best choice. So in those situations where you're like, I don't really know what I should do, and like you're listening to your gut, it's like almost always follow your gut feeling, because that is what most like your character will come from. Like you already know for the most part who you are as a person, what the right and the wrong decision is. So just follow that. And it, like people always say, like your gut really never leads you astray. And she's saying how, like, she tells her team you are in one of 3 modes. So blaming mode, justifying mode, and that's when you are compromising yourself, if you're in the blame mode or the justifying mode. But if you're in building mode, that's when you're always choosing character, because you're always building yourself. Every time you choose character, you're getting stronger and stronger, and you're getting more grounded in your beliefs, and you're becoming a of course, in turn, a better person. So always choosing building mode. That's just like, obviously, you will build your team, you will build your business, you will build yourself. And that's how you're like constantly growing and striving forward. And most of the time with character, you don't have to like keep telling people who you are. It's just always going to be shown through your actions. Awesome. Okay. So that was character. Loved it. And the next one was charisma. I loved this chapter. I like have so many. I'm probably going to go back and reread and highlight with a different highlighter so that I can like pick up different things. But what I loved about this is charisma is about like other people. It honestly has nothing to do with you. And even though it's just like, okay, qualities of building a leader, right? Like we're talking about ourselves as building as a leader, but this charisma portion was literally all about other people, to allow people to be impressed with themselves after speaking with you, and less about like you wanting them to be impressed with you. You know, it's like, how do you make other people feel when you talk to them? Obviously, this is directly related to your business, because people will hardly remember what you told them, but they will always remember how you made them feel. So when, like, no matter what you're talking to people about, especially if it's about Arbonne, we're always worried about what thing to say, yada, yada, yada. it doesn't, like, that's overcomplicating it. And honestly, like, I don't want to say it doesn't matter, because obviously it does. You want to give them the proper and the correct information, but you also want to make sure you're paying attention to that person, right? You're listening to what it is maybe they need from this business. And I've done a training before where I said people will never tell you something that they did not want you to hear. So if someone says something like, I don't know, like, oh my gosh, I'm just so tired all the time. I don't know if I can do this, that, whatever. Oh my God, you're tired all the time? Well, I got a remedy for that. Our fist sticks got me piping around like a 4-year-old. You know what I mean? Like, that's a silly example, but especially when you're talking to someone about the business, they will always tell you something that, you know, they might not even know they're saying it out loud, and like, they want you to like kind of latch onto it and be like, wait, that's an amazing reason to build this business and why Arbonne could be a vehicle for you. And they're going to remember how you made them feel, that like, wow, that made me feel really important, that one, she was listening to these small details I was telling her about myself. She, you know, was breathing life into me the whole, or he or she, sorry, was building life into me the whole time. And, you know, was really latching onto the words that I was in the story I was telling her, and like help paint that vision and that picture. So it's being interested versus being interesting, and always choose interested. You want to be interested in other people. And that goes back to, that folds into character too, right? Like, you don't want to be, you know, like blabbling on about yourself all the time. Like, you just, that's choosing character, is like putting other people before you, and always viewing people with a 10 on their forehead. I know some people were like, I don't know if this would be for them, or you get nervous, I don't know if I want to talk to them. That's making it about you, right? Like, if you're viewing someone else with a 10 on their head, you're going to think everyone is amazing, going to be amazing at Arbonne. Everyone's going to need this business. It's not about whether you think that, you know, oh, I don't want to bother them. That's selfish. That's when it's about you. You want to be like, I don't know what this can do for them, so I'm going to show them and put it out there, and they can decide the rest for themselves. Don't prejudge people like that. There used to be a saying that we always said, what was it? Like, I guess I think it was, don't make the decision for other people, right? Like, just put it out there. They can make the decision themselves. So that was charisma and character. And then the next 2 chapters, which is your week 2 homework, is chapter 3 and 4. Sorry, I have my big post-it notes. So commitment and communication. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I already read them. It's awesome. I'm going to reread them. I did something crazy, and I was like, if we can do this in 12 weeks, why don't I just do it in 12 days and see what happens? So that's the path I'm on. And if you feel like revving it up, then join me on that one. But yeah, so 3 and 4 will be your reading for next week. And as you're reading these chapters, put it into practice, you know, for your week. Like, include that in your homework, is putting these qualities into practice. I know sometimes like, oh yeah, like I always do the right thing, or yeah, but like, if you really pay attention, especially with charisma, about like how you're making other people feel and like what that sounds like. Even for me, I realized like before I thought I was a great listener. Turns out I really wasn't, you know, because people would be talking to me and I'd be like, oh my God, I totally forgot what she just said to me. And I'm just sitting there like, yeah, oh my God, same. And the conversation is over because I literally would forget what the other person would say. I wasn't being an active listener. So it's amazing the things you hear when you're really listening. Write that one down. That was a star quote right there.
That is so true. And, you know, that's one thing that Seth and Amy talked about as well, is just listening to the person and asking a lot of questions, which we all know, because that's really the only way you can help them.
Exactly.
That is awesome.
So along with chapter 3 and 4, of course, this is going to all be repeated at the end of the training. And the point of telling you guys the homework is in advance is just to like prepare you. But this is not to take the place of what's going to be in that actual training video. You know what I mean? So when Polly sends out those emails and you get the training link, watch that, because a lot of the information they talk about in that video, you can apply it to what your homework is going to be. I mean, you can apply it all over your business, but it might be very pertinent to like helping you complete that homework task. So as chapter 3 and 4, 2 business appointments, 2 group events, and selling 2 ASVPs. So that's 2 detoxers, 2 skincare sets. I think that's like the only ASVPs we have, right? So it's a little bit less. So I know some people are like, oh, phew, it's less. I can like, you know, if anything, get this done as soon as possible and don't push it off because you think it's simple. And you'll be surprised too. But and yeah, so that's that. And it has a good I remember this training has good verbiage. I wrote some down when I was listening to it. Good verbiage for you for booking and things like that. And let me tell you guys, I have seen such a massive growth in my business simply with mindset. Like the second I was hearing these homeworks, I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to sell 2 ASVPs today. This was on the 14th. Yeah, the 14th. I sold 3. I wasn't even expecting that. I was just like, I'm going to do it. We're doing it today. Today I'm going to find 3 or 2 detoxers. Boom, bam, done. And it happened. And I really was not expecting it. I was just like, it's just going to happen. And like just leading your day and leading your week and waking up with a positive mindset can make all the difference in the way that you're talking to people, the way that you're leading your business, the way that you're even just giving information out, the way that you're posting on social media, if you are doing that, the way that you're just leading everyday life. This is not, yes, of course we're revolving this around Arbonne, but I find that a lot of the things that we talk about in these trainings and in these books are really meant to apply to everyday life. And that's why we say Arbonne is a personal development business wrapped up in a health and wellness company. So I think that's it from me.
Yeah.
Okay, that is so great. So Gabby, what did you have to share? Because I know we just have a couple more minutes or a few more minutes.
I think that's it. Can you just repeat the homework one more time?
Yes. So chapter 3 and 4, booking 2 business appointments, booking 2 group events, and that can be virtual as well, or in person. And then selling 2 ASVPs. So it's a skincare, detox. And Gabby put the link in our chat. So if you're I think most of you are on your computer, there's like a little bar at the bottom. If you see an orange blinking thing, that's like the group chat. So there's the link for that. And of course, if you haven't read chapter 1 and 2, read that.
Yeah, and I will, I'll send the email. Did everybody get the email I sent this past week? Yeah? Okay, good. Yay. Just double checking. So I'll send the email out tomorrow with the link for the call and all of that first thing in the morning and the homework. And it really is a mindset piece, you guys. And again, if your path is not quite as fast, that's okay. But just remember to be kind of consistent. I wanted to share 2 quick things. Number 1 is the Tiffany incentive is still in place. There's a really nice Tiffany gift for anyone who between mid-December and the end of February, so even if you just hopped in, you could still earn it. But it was for 8 group presentations a month. And y'all, when we say that, I don't want you to be so freaking scared about it. Like honestly, when we started Arbonne, everybody did 6 to 8 group presentations. That's the way we did it. We did some product drops and stuff too, but we just did groups. And there's such a more efficient way to work your business. I just want to encourage you not to let them freak you out. It could be 3 people at Starbucks that you do the presentation with and have an ask at the end. It can be somebody hosting for you or whatever, but that's how you're going to get into other networks is a lot of times instead of feeling like, so you're going to fill in, you're going to do a lot of one-on-ones, you're going to do product drops, everything. But groups are just so efficient and they work. And I'm telling you, every single person that is successful in Arbonne is doing groups regularly. And sometimes that will look like something that we learned about this weekend, which we've heard before, but it could be doing a potluck healthy happy hour where, all the consultants bring something, but it's definitely for guests. You want to bring guests, and everybody brings something that's a dish from our recipes, and the guests get fed, and they get dessert, and it's all healthy, and they get to learn about the 30-day, and that's a great way to do it too. So pop-up shops, thanks Brittany, she said, do pop-up shops count? In the long run for your business, absolutely. For this, no, because unless you can say that every single person that came to your pop-up shop, or that at least 2 or 3 you did that one shooter with, and if you did, great, then yeah. But typically a pop-up shop is more for gathering new people, and you've probably not gotten in front of them yet. And so, you want to do this to build your network, which is the most important thing. Okay, I want to tell you guys one quick thing about this, being in Nashville. And it's about my friend Melanie, and she got up on stage and she told her story. So Michelle and Brittany know this, but my friend Melanie in Mississippi, y'all, I love her to death. I met her on a Arbonne trip in Puerto Rico. We canoed together at night to a lagoon. It was crazy fun. I mean, we had a group. We weren't by ourselves. We weren't that crazy. So it was really fun, and we remained friends this whole time. And she just promoted to Nation, and she told the story about how she was approached about Arbonne 8 times before she said yes. And I know we've heard this from other people. She said that she was invited to a meeting. She was asked to do a phone call. She was asked to meet for coffee. The girl actually took her husband to lunch. Finally, the girl took her to lunch. I mean, she said it wasn't over 8 days. It was over like about 3 months. But the girl just didn't let, you know, an absolute no get in the way. And Melanie said she had zero intention of doing this. It wasn't that. The girl was pleasantly persistent. She didn't, you know, she knew that Melanie would be great, and she knew she had a gift to offer. And so I want you to think about that when you're doing reach outs and you're feeling like, oh, they're not answering me, or oh. I have a meeting Wednesday with a girl who didn't answer me also for years and reached out to me the other day, and she's awesome. So don't let it, you know, this is really about just consistently doing the activity. Put your blindfolds on. Don't worry about what they say. Just go and do the ask. And, you know, the rest is not really up to you. If you're persistent and consistent in your activity, the outcome is going to happen. It's just the when you don't know, but you have to also look at it like filling that funnel, and you can't just be dripping it. And that's kind of why we do these kind of things like an RBPB challenge, or it's why when you start your business, we say, make a 100-person list and go do that big, massive reach out. Why? Because we want you to gain some momentum in your business. And if you just kind of ask 100 people over 12 months, you'll never feel like you have the momentum. And I don't know about y'all, but I love basketball. I played it in high school. Love basketball. I know that's hard to believe, but I love basketball, okay? And if you watched basketball or football, I'm not as big a football fan, okay? Sorry, Christy. I am happy about LSU, though. But what I'm going to say is, no matter what sport it is, but if it's a fast-paced sport like basketball, if you watch the team that has momentum and then you watch the other team every single time is like, you know, like it's just that momentum, and they get excited, and then they're running faster, and then and the other team can't hit a basket to save their life like Auburn the other day. So, you know, that's what I wanted to say is like, you've got to have the momentum in this business, and that's why we're excited to say, hey, let's go do something out of the ordinary, so that you start getting excited about your business and seeing results and having fun with it, because this business is fun. I told Brittany earlier, I don't ever feel like I'm working, ever. If somebody says, how much do you work Arbonne? I guess, I really don't know, because I'm always working and never working. I never feel like it's work, and that's the beauty of this. So I just wanted to kind of share that little analogy and that example with Melanie. She's a national vice president now, y'all. She just got back from Maui 8 times. So don't give up on your people, okay? Anything else, you guys, before we hop off?
No, that was great, y'all. Thank you.
All right, well, let's head into week 2. Pretty exciting. And just let us know if we can help you. And don't worry about being perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just get out there and do it. Done is better than perfect. All right. Well, bye, everybody. Have a good night. Thank you, Robin. Don't forget, Shandi, tomorrow night. It's going to be amazing. Bye.
Bye.